Hello YouTube. It's been a long time. I've been working again and in class, and I'd like to discuss something I was reading. And the truth is stranger than fiction. And I'm going to start out by telling you reading a quote from somebody I consider, I like this quote, from F. Scott Fitzgerald. The test of a first-rate intelligence is the ability to hold two opposed ideas in the mind at the same time and still retain the ability to function. Now, from there, I'm going to tell you that the American people have been deceived about our true and lawful sovereign American national or state citizenship. It's occurred through an onslaught of propaganda, government lies, deception, and education, a bureaucratic threat, duress, and coercion, and the manipulation of the political, economic, legal system since the Civil War. Everything has been manipulated. The whole Republican Democrat thing is a bunch of crud. It's not about that. It's about your individual right to being a sovereign. And let me tell you something. In another quote, which I don't know who said it, but someone else famous has said this: "If the government is moving its lips, they're lying." We have been stripped naked of sovereignty and our basic unalienable rights of self-determination, guaranteed by the Declaration of Independence, the American Revolution, and the Articles of Confederation, as well as the Treaty of Paris after we won the war with Great Britain. The limited authority and jurisdiction placed upon federal government by the Constitution for the United States and the Bill of Rights has been usurped and ignored for generations. Unless everybody, we the people, Americans, wake up from this deep sleep, these powerful instruments that have been put into place in American law, our protectors of freedom and liberty, will be banished forever from this great country. Soon we may wake up homeless in the land of our forefathers, as was said by Jefferson about, the bankers and controlling the money supply, which is the problem that we have right now. And we're caught between this global assault on our sovereignty and the law of nations. It's a global assault. We're being attacked worldwide because we're rare. Every citizen of this country is supposed to be a sovereign. We're not slaves, but a lot of people act like slaves, and you have to change how you act and learn how to be a sovereign. And self-sufficiency is part of this. We depend on too many other people for our survival. You have to be able to survive on your own to be a sovereign. Due process has been stolen away. Need I say more? The Patriot Act, other things, property rights. I mean, you don't really own your land because you're paying taxes on it constantly just to keep it. And that's sad. So there is a way, and there used to be a way, where it was titled to you and you own it, and they can't take it away no matter what for property taxes, unless you sign it away for mortgages. But if you do it right, you can get the title set up where if you have no debt, free and clear, it's yours and you own it 100%. You have to have the mineral rights and everything else to the land. Now, there's this war going on, and I'm sure all you people know this, against us for the benefit of an elite aristocracy and consortium of international bankers. I mean, give me a break. They went under because they created this fake paper trail, and we bailed them out. They want to attain a global empire at the expense of not only us, the American people, but all the citizens of the world. Because, from long ago, it was always a battle between the haves and the have-nots. And this was the king and his serfs, and they want to return to that because By lifting, the more people they uplift and give power to, the less power and control they have. And they want to return to the old system. And you know what? This is an interesting treaty that I looked up by former President George Bush. It places the assessment and collection of all taxes, even local property taxes, under UN auspices and sets up an international enforcement corps and an international data bank. Can you believe that or not? Whether people know it or not, we actually are operating under an international data bank. And the UN knows about the property. Why? The Federal Reserve Act. All our land was given for a fake debt as collateral. Yep, we've been sold out by the politicians since 1913. And the nature of this oppression is mostly invisible, legal, and economic. We are being taxed to death and indebted into economic slavery by individuals and institutions that have no moral or lawful authority over us. We, the American people, have been systematically robbed and bankrupted by special interests, public officials that profit immensely from political and legal systems put into place to serve their ends. Laws are passed by the power structure and for the power structure, not for us. We, the American people, are taxed without representation by federal, state, and local governments that no longer serve our best interests. Instead, they perpetuate and protect their own unlimited growth at our expense again. Does this sound familiar? Are we living in the time of King George again? Our military is presently under the command of foreign powers, intent on creating a one world government and world army through the militarization of the United Nations. As I said before, George Bush signing that treaty, former president. This would be the senior. We, the people, have been programmed, conditioned, and educated to see, feel, think, and act socially and politically correct. So we won't step out of line and say something that they don't like. Political correctness in itself is social programming promulgated by the traditional left. Don't ask, don't speak, and don't dissent. But the right has it too. And it corresponds perfectly with religious fundamentalists programming. And you have to break free of that, even if you are and do believe in God. There is programming involved in that, saying that, oh, it's the will of God, and give it up to God. And that gets in the way of everything. Now I'm going to end with a certain quote from Mark Twain. It could probably be shown by facts and figures that there is no distinctly Native American criminal class except Congress. Have a great day, and I will continue to explore into the depths of becoming a sovereign myself.